Chance for 2 birdies there.
Impressive shot there from John Sanders. We welcome Wayne Grady back into the box, and Grady's interesting state of play this afternoon.
Yeah, it is. It's been a good day for scoring. It's only light winds this afternoon. The course is perfect. A little surprised 6 unders leading. I thought someone might have gone a touch lower than that, but all in all, it's been a wonderful day's golf. This is one of the tougher holes on the course, even though today only ranked 6th. Now Jeff Ogilvy. That'll test his short game there at 13.
You heard Jeff self-commentary there, a 170-yard 9-iron, meaning that he got one to jump some grass between the ball and the club face, and just came out a little bit hot over to Renate Paratore, putting down the slope for birdie.
I think anyone that walks away from 14 with a par today probably wouldn't be too disappointed. And then you get to 15, the real reward coming up next if you can just keep you cool at the par 3, and then the par 5 coming up just 1 hole later.
Harold in another bunker. Found a lot of sand today. Ball sitting perfectly though.
Interesting guy. He has a head cover that he calls Gerald, and Gerald has his own Twitter account. So I must tune in this afternoon to check out what Gerald actually thought of his round of golf today.
You're getting into a very strange conversation of pantomime and puppets there, maybe.
Lucas putting for birdie. Be a tap in for him to stay at +7.
What can Scrivener produce? Brilliant. Really the man making the move out on the golf course.
Yeah, very methodical, very unemotional. Knows what he has to do, and at the moment is executing beautifully. Jason Scrivener just been moving solidly up the leaderboard all afternoon. Looking out for your favourite player, scrolling across the bottom of the screen at the moment. Leaders at 6 under par. Simon Hawkes, the current Vic Open champion, 2 under par. Let's take a look at some highlights from earlier today. And these are highlights of Matt Jager. Guys suddenly finding a bit of form. Very talented young Australian player. This is tee shot on number 2.
177 metres from the tee to about there, maybe 179, but really set up a good start to his back 9. He did start on 10 today.
And at 5 under par at the 4th, just to get the 6 under for his round.
Over to 9, the par 5.
A good way to bounce back, really, wasn't it? And earlier today, I caught up with Matt Jager after his round. Matt, fantastic round for you out there today. A couple of eagles. What was going right for you? You just got off to such a hot start.
Yeah, it was a great start. Mac, my caddy, said to me, he goes, you've just hit 6 perfect shots in a row to start. That's the best start that we've had in the last. Just keep that going. And I was like, yeah, so that was good. And 3, I hit a perfect 4-iron into our 3rd hole of the day, into 12, into like 10 feet and hold it. And I hit a good 3-wood into 20 feet on 15 and hold that. So perfect start. First 6 holes before 4 under was awesome, yeah.
He knows his stuff too, a fellow tour pro. How's the dynamic between you and Ryan McCarthy out on the golf course?
It's good. I mean, we're just trying to get into our own little world out there. Off the course, we don't take things too seriously anyway, so we're trying to kind of do the same on the course. And it's awesome. I mean, he's a great player and good mate. I've got trust in every bit of information that he's given me, and we're teaming up well, so it's good fun, yeah.
Have you felt that your form's been coming into this week? Because we saw you a little bit at the Vic PGA, kind of creeping into some form, but how have you felt it's been?
Yeah, the last month has been good, and that's all that Ryan and I have talked about, is just to build, and, you know, we started off, my run of events was the Vic PGA and then Perth, and that was the first week that he's been on the bag, and we just tried to gather some form each tournament to finish off the year well, and Aussie Open, I was right there and, you know, dropped a couple on the weekend, but for the majority played really well. Took a lot of confidence out of that, and that's obviously bled through into what I've done today, so game feels good, yeah.
Great to hear the thoughts of Matt, and, you know, it was interesting talking to him even after they said that they're just verbalising everything. Whenever he's feeling uncomfortable on the golf course, he and Ryan McCarthy are talking about it, which is pretty good. That chip shot from Jeff Ogilvy also not too shabby.
Yeah, beautiful hands there from Jeff Ogilvy. He didn't quite give that enough credit, how soft and slow. And over to Jason Scrivener, taking a rip with the driver.
It was a really balanced looking golf swing.
Harold Varner to coming out of the fairway trap to here. This for birdie. He'll remain 1 under after he taps that in.
$15 really the only kind of carrot that's dangling at the end of this back nine. Aside from that, you're pretty hard pressed to find any under par scores.
Pretty friendly bounce. A little bit of cart path involved there, I think. Back to the left, so we should have a swing and a look at reaching that green in 2 from there.
John Sandon for birdie here at 13. Well done, mate. He's made a few putts today, which is great to see. His iron play's always fantastic.
Lucas.
Nice, Herbie.
There's never going to be much left on the tee with that driver. At 7 over par. And that's a bomb. Down the middle, he'll certainly be able to reach the green in 2. Jeff Ogilvy looking to clean up. That's an excellent up and down from over the back. Jeff to stay at even.
We mentioned earlier, really looking forward to, you know, the contribution that Jeff Ogilvy will have, I believe, when he moves back to Australia. So we see Varner here trying to tidy up for his par.
So Harold Varner, the 3rd, stays in red figures at 1 under. A bit of an up and down day. He's been looking good. Wouldn't surprised to see him break out at some point this afternoon or early tomorrow. With his early tee time, and he's 5 behind Jake McLeod and Matt Jago. Yong Jae Woong at 5 under par, and Jason Scrivener on course also at 5 under par.
Sendon first to go at 14, 181 metres, pin 18 on 6 off the right. And Marsh really missed an opportunity to fix this hole. It was always the worst hole on the course. And it's not much better now.
Tell us what you really think, Wayne.
Oh, it's a shocker. Green slopes from front to back. And you get the prevailing wind behind. And you can't bounce it up either, that's the thing. It's not like you've got the option to bounce the ball up. Through the front, it just stops dead. You fly it on, it goes over.
That's it. You either see the miss being front right or back left 99% of the time, depending on the whole location, of course.
Rest my case.
That ball needs claws on it if it wants to cling on.
Look, it's ranked number 1. It's playing 181 metres.
About as good as it's going to get. Oh. It is great to see all the yellow hats out there. Today is Yellow Day in honour and memory of Jared Lyle, who passed away just a few short months ago. He'll be remembered through his wife Bryony and his 2 kids, Gemma and Lucy.
Robert Rock, I'd have Dave Grohl. If I could drag my old man out, I think I'd have Dad as well playing in the foursome, but he's not too keen on playing that much golf.
Michael Schumacher would be pretty cool. Who else? Peter Thompson would be fun, and who else? Bobby Jones, some of the old boys that we don't see.
I'll probably go Ricky Ponting, Jim Jeffries. Let's say Ernie Els.
Tiger, Jack, and Ben Hogan. It's got to be golf, man, because you can relate. I'd have a different foursome for something else, but like I want to be the best golfer in the world, and I like the way that everyone should. Those guys competed and they won all the time, so I try to get as much questions as I could.
Probably Greg Norman got me into golf. Bernard Fanning, favourite musician, and probably Shane Warne would be a bit of fun.
Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and probably I'm going to go with Kim Felton again, yeah.
I'll get my dad in there, I think. I'll get Wally Lewis, and I'd get Arnold Palmer.
Obviously Tiger Woods would be pretty awesome. Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan.
Tiger, Jack, and then maybe Darryl Kerrigan from the Castle.
I'd say Muhammad Ali, Arsene Wenger, and Will Ferrell.
Kim Felton, Brendan Jones, and David Gleeson.
An eclectic 4-ball, I think we would call that. Let's go back out to play. Jason Scrivener, Lucas Herbert, and Renato Paratore all in pretty good position here, Ali.
Absolutely. Scrivener, ball slightly below his feet, which will help him probably carry it a little bit more. Maybe get it to settle down quicker. And look at this, it might just cling to that back little peninsula out at 15. It does, so pretty good there from the West Australian.
Sendon, simple little pitch and run down the green here at 14. Didn't come out as he expected.
After an absolute monster of a drive, Lucas Herbert doesn't seem happy. It's been a bit of a theme of the day.
Yeah, his ball striking has been really off colour today, Lucas Herbert. He's hardly hit a decent iron shot, really, particularly with his wedges. His wedges have been all over the place.
Barner opting for the putter here at 14, which is a good option. No troubles through the fringe. First third of the putts uphill, downhill from here. And a guy with his record at this golf course, on the question his choice of shot. Lost in the playoff as one and also finished 6th. So
it was interesting, Ali, to talk to Mark Leishman about Harold Varner, who he says he's very good friends with. So what are his great strengths? He said his confidence. And when we saw those Vox Pops before, he's saying he wants to be the best golfer in the world. And you know, that's a pretty lofty ambition.
It is, but if you don't believe you can do it, you're certainly never going to get there, really, are you? And that seems like a bit of trouble there for Paratore.
just have to get some clarification there as to which shot that was for Paratore as we go back to the 14th green. And one of the few players that have kept it on the surface here. And that'll be a par 3 for Ogilvy.
Jeff Ogilvy will stay at par. So, Paratore, who apparently is having some physical difficulty out on the course, had some physio treatment on his knee. So just struggling a little at the moment, the young Italian.
Decent little shot in, but we believe that's his 4th. Had a little bit of tree trouble earlier on in the hole.
It's a miss there for Sando and a bogey. Only a quarter of the field is hit this 14th green.
Yeah, it's a disappointing bogey up to a pretty good tee shot. And as Wayne Grady has mentioned, a difficult hole and certainly a very difficult green to hit. Nick Flanagan in the greenside bunker on 9. Looks like he might have been just on the edge of the bunker by that stance. So pretty good shot, all things considered.
Lucas Herbert up next. There's almost a little bit of a valley to chip over here, up to an elevated green.
He's currently 155th in the field, and by my reckoning, there's 156 players. So Lucas Herbert, one of the pre-tournament favourites, currently running second last in the Australian PGA Championship.
And he thanks you for putting that out there. Harold Varner back on the tee, water down the left. Big figure on the right-hand side that the players hit over the edge of. splits the fairway.
Down to you and Porter.
Well, it's downwind and off the left, and Jeff's ball is heading for a watery grave, I can tell you.
Yeah, left is not the place to go off the tee when you've got driver in hand.
Well, that's the second time today he's hit driver in the water, back on 9 as well.
As you'd know, Grade's playing here for so many years. It's a very awkward tee shot off here, and the fact that John Senden has to hit 3 wood may not be too bad here, because it's downwind off the left. He's still going to be able to reach the green in 2, and he can pretty much play away from the water and not worry about running through the fairway on the right-hand side either. And this one, a bit of a toey draw down the left-hand side. They've got a good bounce.
At least you can see the outline of the hazard today. In the old days, you couldn't see anything. It was, you just knew it was there.
Safe to say it's been a mentally draining day for John Senden, trying to hang in there as we see this for eagle from Jason Scrivener. Oh, he's going to have that putt left to join the lead at 6 under par alongside Jake McLeod and Matt Jager.
Nick Flanagan for birdie at 9. 3 under par. Out 33.
Birdie putt for Renato Paratore, slides by the high side. So after all that, a par 5. He will stay at 2 over.
There's 5s and then there's soft 5s and then there's good birdies.
That certainly is a good birdie, because with that, Jason Scrivener takes a share of the lead in the Australian PGA Championship. Tremendous round of golf this afternoon. 3-way lead at the top. 3 young Australians at 6 under par. Jake McLeod, Matt Jager, Jason Scrivener. Another young Korean in 4th place, Yom Jae-wool. And then Mark Leishman, Adrian Atagui, and Matthew Goggin back in form. 4 under par. We'll be right back.
So there's 3 Australians at the top. 2 from West Australia and Matt Jager, Jason Scrivener, Jake McLeod from Queensland, playing well in his home state. Great to see the big man, Dimi Papadakis, playing well again after his lightning finish, really, at the Australian Open. Australian Open. He's 5th on the order of merit currently, so a good week for him could go a long way here at the Gold Coast. Big Open champion earlier this season. Simon Hawkes from Tasmania, 70 today. The way things are going, though, the scores rising on the golf course, if anything, at the moment. 70, not such a bad place to be. So we see a host of Australian players. And an Englishman in Paul Matty, and Gareth Patterson from New Zealand thrown in for good measure. Gareth threw 10 holes today. A couple of highlights from him already in the first round. And then we see Harold Varner He's been a familiar face at this event for the last 3 years, and it's always good to have him back. Jared Felton, another one of that next generation, trying to break through, make the move like Ben Eccles did early on in his career. And Mr. Consistency. Matthew Miller won the Player of the Year for the ISPS Honda PGA Tour of Australasia at the dinner on Tuesday evening. Very popular character on tour, picked up a win earlier this year in New Zealand. The Rebel Sports Masters. Since then has had a host of top 10 finishes, so rightly so. Congratulations go to him. As we move to the part of the leaderboard that probably needs to start making a bit of a move this afternoon and tomorrow if they want to play the weekend. Top 65 make the cut here at the Australian PGA Championship on the Gold Coast.
Where would you rather be than Australia's holiday playground? The magnificent skyline and beaches of Surfers Paradise. Beautiful blue oceans. And a mecca for surfing and for golf. So many great golf courses in this part of the world, including Royal Pines, where the Australian PGA Championship's being played. On a almost perfect day here in southeast Queensland.
And speaking of surfing, congratulations to Stephanie Gilmore, who's just won a 7th world title. She should be home by now.
And she's got a killer golf swing, I have to say. Watch that space.
Yep.
Try and lure her out to some golf events. We see, sadly, the ball positioning of Jeff Ogilvie was in the water, but now it's here at 15.
Well, this one's come out very low, but on a very good line. It may just catch that bank and end up in the front left bunker.
Looks as though it might have just crept in there.
Forward to the 16th, which should be a lot of fun this weekend. Our on-course leader, body language tells the story. We'll just leak off that right side of the green, and we'll leak him a very challenging up and down, pitching to a down slope to that back pin.
John's lost this one out to the right. It's a matter of whether it can avoid that green side bunker up there.
But it has avoided it. It'll be interesting to see what kind of number and view he has for the next one coming for John Sendon.
Paratori, iron shot at 16. Oh, great shot. Back for 2. He's 2 over par, so he needs a bit of help.
Got that to sit down so quickly as well. You don't see it often on these greens. Varner.
208 on a beautiful line, very high ball flight.
Yeah, it came down really soft there, Ewan, and great shot. Another par 5 hit in 2 for Harold Varner. And seen a lot of eagle putts this afternoon.
Herbert. Where's that been all day?
Yeah, pretty good, mate.
Here's my old mate, Pete. He had an eagle on 9 earlier today, third shot at 17. Shot 61 a few weeks ago in a senior tournament here in Australia. Sorry, this is the 13th hole. I bet you he wishes it was the 17th.
Well, one of our marquee players was out very, very early this morning. 6:10 local time to be precise. Mark Leishman. He got it going once he roused the sleep from his eyes, and it was on the back nine that he really